Hi, I'm Rich DiGeorgio. I've been a tennis player for 63 years, which dates me. Started when I was 14, and throughout my whole life I've practiced using walls. And I'm making this video as a public service because I think there's a tremendous underutilization of one resource in the community, both walls that are outdoors, but in particular racquetball courts that are in YMCAs and in gyms around the country. And I made this video to show how you can use particularly the racquetball court to get some practice, some excellent practice. What you're looking at now is a racquetball court. And I want to tell you a little bit about racquetball court because it's important for your practice. First, the racquetball court is 40 by 20. The 40 is important because half of a tennis court is 39 feet long. So basically, because you don't want to be hitting your racket against the back wall of a racquetball court, you're going to be standing 2 or 3 feet inside the baseline to hit the ball, which has a certain lot of advantages because you are in fact going to be practicing hitting the ball on the rise, taking the ball and hitting the ball on the court in an aggressive manner. So that all comes with practicing in a racquetball court. Some other advantages of the racquetball court are you've got great lighting and it's air conditioned. It doesn't rain in a racquetball court. Sometimes you even get music. Now the ball comes back quickly. And of course, what I recommend there is use the quality of a ball, in other words, softness of a ball, relative to how good you are. I use a relatively new ball because I can hit a lot of strokes, but if you're more of a beginner, you take a softer ball. And the target, one of the nice things about a racquetball court is the first line in a racquetball court, the first panel is 4 feet. They're all 4 feet panels. So that's 48 inches. The height of the net is 36 in the middle and 42 at the end. So if you hit the ball consistently above that line, you know the ball's going over the net. So the warm-up is important, and what I like to do, and I'm not going to demonstrate this, is jump rope for probably 3 or 4 minutes. But if you don't want to jump rope, the one thing you definitely do have to do, which I'll demonstrate, is get your feet moving. And what I'll demonstrate is just a little hitting the ball, forehand and backhand, getting the feel for the ball and the racket, keeping the feet moving. That's the key thing, getting some touch as you warm up. Do this for 2 or 3 minutes. I usually try to get at least 20 in a row over with my backhand and a forehand over that line, the 4-foot line that I mentioned before. So usually when I practice, the entire practice session is about an hour, which will give you a tremendous workout, but it starts with a rally. And what I usually do is rally for 20 to 25 minutes, hitting backhands and forehands, as many as I can. And if you're good, you can hit a number of them in a row and you're going to get winded. I've tested my heart rate. It's been up well over where it should be at times. So all I'm going to do in the next thing is just demonstrate hitting forehands and backhands. Again, you're going to be hitting a lot of balls on the rise, and you're going to have to keep your feet moving and be quick. One of the things you can practice is teeing the ball up for yourself. This is one of the nice things about practicing in a racquetball court. Teeing the ball up for yourself so it bounces and that you have to hit the ball on the rise. Either come in and hit it on the rise, or it'll be on the rise because it's just a hard shot that's deep. And I'm going to demonstrate that, but one of the things I like to do with a two-handed backhand is hit it on the rise, hit it, let the ball come close to you, and you practically come over the ball, and actually you're kind of slicing it. So if you watch one of those shots, it's a very effective shot with a two-handed backhand. Now, this is not a video about how to hit different shots, but you can practice different things by setting yourself up properly in a court and not have to worry about having a partner that's capable of hitting you the right kind of shots. You can control that yourself, and that's one of the real advantages of practicing in a racquetball court. Instead of out here, you're trying to do this, you come close, catch the ball here, and the slingshot, got backstep. In this little section, I'm going to demonstrate hitting your forehand on the rise. And again, it's something you can set up, hit yourself some easy balls to come in, and you can hit them with your topspin forehand or your slice. And I think I demonstrate each of these in the next segment. Slow motion. One of the real advantages to, again, practicing in a court like this is that you can work on new shots for yourself. So for instance, at the age of 63, I developed bone chips and in my forearm, my right forearm. And while I could hit my serve, I could volley, I could hit my forehand, my one-handed backhand was killing me. I couldn't practice. So I needed to learn how to hit a two-handed backhand. So I'm going to learn a two-handed backhand. Well, at the level I was at the time, 4-0, 4-0 plus, nobody wanted to play with me with no backhand. And so I had to find a place to get a lot of reps quickly. And within a year, I developed a two-handed backhand in the racquetball court. So one thing you might want to do is learn a new stroke like a two-handed backhand in a situation where no one else is going to be bothered by it. Also, one of the things I like to practice is the lefty lob, because when you're old like me and you don't cut down a movement, it's good to, when you're running to that backhand side, if you can hit a lefty lob up in the air, it's really good, and it's a great place to practice it. It's something you can't do outside. The ball will go over the wall. They're usually too short to practice this. So in this next little segment, I'm going to demonstrate how you can really work on your approach shots. And what I generally do in my practice session is I'll set up 25 approach shots, try to get, at least 20 of the 25 over the line. And what I'll do is I'll hit some shorter than others, so I have to come in and hit maybe a slice approach shot to get it over the net. Others a little higher where I can hit the topspin forehand approach shot. Hit them cross court, hit them down the line, hit them inside out. You can do all of those things by yourself, setting it up for yourself. This is something hard for you to do when you practice with somebody because they're usually not good enough to set it up easily for you. Again, I'm going to demonstrate setting yourself up so you can hit backhand approach shots. Again, I usually try to do 25 of these in a practice session, hitting them inside out, down the line, and cross court, both slicing it and hitting with the two-hander. You can also practice your volley on a racquetball court. And I'm going to demonstrate that. Basically, what you're going to be doing is hitting the ball against the wall. I'll see you can hit it against the wall hard, and it's going to come back, and you're looking to hit one volley. Not more than one, just one. Hit a nice volley, cross court, inside out, down the line. You can also hit the ball easy, so you have to keep your feet moving, come in, and hit it while on the move. You can set that up for yourself either way. The key thing here is getting that ball over that line when you hit it and varying the speeds. I usually try to make 20 of these and with as few errors as possible, which in my case usually 3 or 4 errors to get to 20. So here we go. The same thing is true on the backhand volley. The challenge here is that you're going to usually put the ball in play with your forehand and you got to switch grips quickly, but it's possible to do that. Again, the variation, soft, hard, high, low. Also, what's important on both of these exercises, keep your feet moving forward. If you keep your feet moving forward, you're going to be a good volleyer. So here's something that it's a lot easier to do in a racquetball court than an outdoor wall, and that's to hit an overhead, because as I'll demonstrate in a second, you're going to bounce the ball against the wall. It's going to come up high, but you have to bounce it high against the wall to get the height you need. And frequently, if you're trying to do this outside, you'll actually bounce the ball over the 10-foot wall, and it will not end well. So here's another shot that you can practice that's really hard to practice with a partner because they generally can't serve these up for you. But you can easily do this, hit the ball high on the wall, and you be 5, 10, 15 feet inside and hit your swing volley. I usually try to do at least 10 of these, both forehand and backhand, in my practice session. It's very hard to get this practice, and this is a great place to do it. Again, it's something you can't do in an outdoor wall because the wall's too low. So I'm going to demonstrate how to hit the swing volley backhand. Same idea, hit the ball high against the wall. Again, you're generally putting it in place with your forehand, so you got to switch grips, and it's quite possible to do it, and I'm going to demonstrate that for you. Again, it's something that you can't practice outdoors on a wall, and it's something that it's hard to get a lot of practice from your friends. So here we are at Mercer County Park. Notice I'm measuring the height of the line to make sure it's accurate. It is accurate. There will be problems when you're at outdoor court to make sure that you do have a target point, and you'll have to measure to see where the target point is, unlike a racquetball court. Here I am demonstrating that the fence behind this isn't like, it's only 4 or 5 feet behind the baseline. So you're going to be hitting most of your shots at the baseline or in front of it. Okay, so it's not that much different for this particular outside court than it was at the racquetball court. All right, so now notice I'm pointing to the height of the wall. Height of the wall is only about 10 feet. As I pointed out previously, it's very hard to practice things like your overhead and a swing volley on a wall that's only 10 feet high. You're going to hit a lot of balls over the wall, You're going to upset the person on the other side. Plus, it's a lot of work to go get the ball, unlike in a racquetball court. So again, advantages. Now here's the big advantage to practicing outside, and that is that you've got courts available to go practice your serve, because the best place to practice a serve is on a real court, not in a racquetball court or on a wall. Let's focus on using a racquetball court. Make it fun. How many times in a row can you get it over the net? I think I did 100 in a row once. Now, that wasn't all at once because I need to breathe, but how many in a row can you get over in a row? If you're doing your 25 volleys, can you do all 25 without making a mistake? Try different things to make it fun. So that's one thing. Remember, this is a quick workout. Within an hour, you'll get a tremendous amount of practice. It only takes, you're cutting the time in half for the ball to come back to you. So in essence, it's like 2 hours being on a court. Now, one of the big advantages to using a racquetball court is it's great when it rains outside. It's great when it's the winter, okay? And if you belong to a gym and they have racquetball courts, there's lots of times when they're underutilized. It comes with a membership, so it's free. It also is terrific if you work and, for instance, you'd like to get some extra practice in on a weekday night, 7 or 8 o'clock at night. You go out, you hit, you can bring the family, figure out some practice things, drills, you can do them. I also think that there's the opportunity for high school coaches who are looking for a place to practice to go to some place like LA Fitness where this is done, and to make a deal with them in the early afternoon to use those racquetball courts to get the kids some practice. So there's a real big underutilized resource. Racquetball courts out there. Please try to find a way to use them, have fun, and get a lot of great exercise.